My name is George Fricks, and I am the Executive Director of ECMA, or the Ecumenical Campus Ministries Association, based out of our house at the University of Idaho in Moscow. I started in this role about 3 years ago, which was right at the tail end of COVID, just as universities were opening back up to in-person classes. And so the first year that I was here, it was really a hard introduction into the culture of the University of Idaho, trying to engage with students who were still feeling out how comfortable they were with going out and being in social environments. It really wasn't a very flourishing space for campus ministry and building relationships. And it took quite a bit of time to get our feet under us out of that COVID mindset with students. Carla has definitely been a wonderful person to have on site here as we push forward to exploring new methods and ways to engage in ecumenical campus ministry, and definitely getting to know her, getting to know the story of the space and the ministry that's been here for 95 years really helped me tremendously, because there was no director prior to me that was still around that could give me that information. And we had been going through a lot of board transitions, and the time period before me for the past decade had really been uncertain and unstable from a ministry perspective. And beyond that, we had always operated from a more individualistic ministry position. So the space here, while we engage ecumenically, was really set up initially to be a space for each of the independent denominations to have their own ministries. And that worked probably better in decades past, when there was a lot more funding towards having campus ministers. But definitely by the time I got here, that way of doing campus ministry just didn't work anymore. We didn't have the campus ministers from the denominations running their own ministries in order to have that faith engagement. And Carla, being the only remaining minister from that time period, was operating by herself without a director, again coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, where we had lost a lot of the students that were, and I say a lot, but all of the students that were there previously from years before had graduated. And so we were starting from scratch. And while that was challenging, one of the things that I feel like we benefited from that is it allowed us a lot of freedom to say, let's try to do things differently. We've operated as independent ministries inside of this ecumenical organization. What would it look like to have a truly ecumenical ministry expression here, where we are all working collectively on the same ministry program? We are working with the same groups of students, and while we are still being faithful to and exploring the traditions that we are a part of, we aren't dividing students up by those traditions. And I think that's been a really exciting development in campus ministry. The students, I think, have been engaged well with that reshaping of identity, and been excited about the posture that comes with just saying that we are here for the same mission. We are all here as followers and disciples of Jesus, and we can value our differences, and we can value the things that we have that are similarities to create, I think, a really beautiful faith community here on campus. We have a lot of needs that we could be meeting on campus at the University of Idaho and at WSU. I think one of the biggest challenges is that despite all of those needs, what you really need in order to be able to tackle those is people. You need staff. And that's true whether it's running Bible studies, whether it's community service programs, we run a food pantry, we want to run a clothing closet. All of those require people to do those things, and there's a limit to what a single individual can accomplish, and even more so a single individual who's on a part-time or less salary. And one of the things we really want to be able to provide for our staff is the ability to be full-time, the ability to be secure financially, and able to fully commit to running programs, to building relationships with students. And all of that is something that is dependent on the financial support that we have from our community. And without that, we don't get to do the amazing things that we have an opportunity to do on campus. So when we dream big, which we do quite often, that usually starts with looking at what staff do we need to be successful in providing these different services, and how do we get to the point where we can provide those salaries, the financial packages to pay people to be on staff, to be a part of the ministry work that we are doing. That hinges really well off of the last question. And I think a couple of key elements here are, number one, quality of relationship, I think, is one of the most important things when it comes to my ability to be successful in ministering to a student. And the trust really has to exist there. They need to be able to feel confident in a space that is probably vulnerable, or I know is vulnerable. And that, means that I need to be able to be present. It has a lot to do with, just the ability to be present on campus and available to students when they need to talk to somebody. And also, one of the things that I see a lot in campus ministry, especially from campus ministries that don't have fully funded full-time staff, is those staff end up having to do other work in order to make ends meet. They don't make enough as a campus minister to support doing that full-time, and it cuts out on that ability to be present, because when students are on campus is during that 9 to 5 time period, which is really when I need to be there and available to meet with students throughout the day, to have the discussions around life and faith. And if I'm working another job to pay the bills, then I don't get to have that relationship. And what that translates into is the lack of engagement with students in any of the other programming that we want to do, because the relationship's not there. They don't have the trust, they don't have the familiarity with our staff, and the primary driving force behind whether or not a student is going to go to an event is if they know somebody that they are friends with and have a good relationship that is also going to be there that they can connect to. Otherwise, we're asking them to show up to something where they don't know anyone, the other students there, and the staff, because the staff haven't been available. And it also, feels unstable as an organization. And students are going to notice that. They aren't going to be drawn towards something that they feel like doesn't have the ability to focus on them and focus on their needs and be able to meet those needs. So having the full-time staff really is a key element into having a ministry that is sustainable, that is successful from a staff health perspective, and from the perspective of staff being able to build those key relationships with students that allow us to do discipleship together and make an impact in students' lives that they are going to take with them wherever they go after they graduate. One of the unique things about campus ministry is the cyclical nature of the work that we do, because we get a new group of students that come onto campus every year, and we have a group of students that graduate every year. And so we see that student pathway go through our campus ministry as they pursue their degrees, and then they're off to the next stage of their life. And so from a realistic perspective, we get at best 2 years with a student, and that makes it a challenge to have a consistent and stable program environment or community environment for students to be a part of. One of the key elements to that is staff who are present, who are able to be there, to be the grounding point for the things that we do. Again, it takes time for staff to acclimate to a culture, to acclimate to having ministry programming and figuring out what those things are going to be. And then also, because we have new students all the time, those programs are continuing to develop and change. And I think that the space that we have been in has really been a start, stop, repeat, because we haven't had stable staff members present for extended periods of time. And that creates a really unstable environment for students to engage in. So having staff that are full-time, having staff that are going to be with us for a long time is really a priority, and something that we see as a key element when we look at campus ministries that are thriving, that have healthy staff. That's one of the things that I think stands out between those ministries and ministries that we see that are single staff persons who have half-time or quarter-time salaries that they get to work with in order to do campus ministry. And we see a difference in the way that those ministries are able to engage with the students that are a part of those programs. And we see a difference in the life and community of those students who are in those various programs as well. I'm really excited about the next 3 years of ministry and what that's going to look like. We've spent quite a lot of time developing the back end of the ministry organization to make sure that we have a strong foundation and launch pad to develop staff, to develop ministry programs. And that's what we get to do for the next 3 years and beyond, as start to move into operating full-time campus ministry and creating space for student community to thrive as a community of faith and create opportunities for relationship and spiritual disciplines and all the other ways that we get to engage with students day in and day out, whether that's meeting just general basic life needs or mentoring students, and also the work that we get to do engaging with the community that is a part of the support network for ministry and expanding that. We want to build more relationships with churches so that we can include them in the ministry work that we are doing. And we're starting with Carla as our lead campus minister at the University of Idaho. And one of our goals over the next 3 years is to expand that ministry team. We want to have 3, 4, 5 staff members that are working full-time, building relationships with students and engaging in creating community spaces and mentoring student leaders and helping to facilitate Bible studies and dinners and all the various community service programs that we are engaging students with. So the next 3 years, I think, are going to be very exciting and fun.